Hello, everybody. I'm Laura Jean Baker. I'm Associate Professor of English at UW-Oshkosh, where we all are. This is like my third attempt to do a video, an opening day video. I lost the other ones. I couldn't upload them, so I'm very hopeful that this one works. Welcome to my 3 classes this semester, all of which are writing classes. We have WRT, which is formerly WIBIS, 188, and our theme this semester is crime narratives. We have English 204, Introduction to Creative Writing, and we have English 308, 508 for graduate students, which is my memoir class. Just as an FYI, that class is on the books as autobiography, but I teach it as memoir, and we will go over the difference between those two early in the semester. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself. I know that from looking at my rosters that a number of you are returning students, especially in my upper level class, but I'll just give you a quick spiel. So I'm going to be starting my 17th year in the English department here on campus. I'm originally from Oshkosh, and so have always been happy to be back here. Oshkosh is my hometown. But I lived away for a while. I lived in Madison, where I earned my bachelor's degree in journalism and Spanish. I lived abroad in Spain and also traveled a lot in Latin America. And then got my master's of fine arts in creative writing, my MFA in primarily fiction writing, but I do a lot of memoir and, or I did at the time, and now continue to do a lot of memoir and autobiography writing as well. I have one book published. It's called The Motherhood Affidavits, and I mention that because it essentially weaves together all of the strands that unite the 3 classes I'm teaching this semester. The Motherhood Affidavits is about crime, okay, so that's our theme for WIBIS. My husband is a criminal defense attorney, and I have always been interested in crime narratives, as I think most Americans are. And it's also, the memoir is also about my life as a mother. And so it pulls together all different types of creative writing, creative nonfiction. There's a little bit of imaginative stuff in there that kind of borders on fiction. And of course the memoir piece, which connects to my 2 creative writing classes this semester. Let's see, I've also written a second book that's out on submission, as we say. And that one is called Growing Up with Alice. It's about school violence, creativity, and essentially gun violence in schools. And the Alice in the title refers to Alice in Wonderland, but also to Alice training, which is, as many of you know, the active shooter training we do in schools. Of course, my book about school safety has been completely sideswiped and sort of upset, and now needs to be reconfigured in many ways because of COVID. So another school safety issue. So here we are doing things virtually. Let's see, what else? I guess one of the main things that I wanted to communicate to you through this video, which I think I can communicate best in this fashion, is that although we will not be meeting every class period, and although we won't see each other face-to-face often, I do want you to know that you can contact me at any time. I do live in Oshkosh, only about 10 minutes from campus, and I keep my phone with me at almost all times. So text messages work really well. If you can text me with a question, a clarification, anything you need to know about a due date, or if you need an extension on something, or whatever it is, if you just need some moral support, you can text me. Just identify yourselves. You can also call me, you can email me, and you can contact me through Canvas, and I try to get back to everybody ASAP. You can always double up and contact me again if I'm not responding, because I really want to be there for you, even though this is kind of an unusual semester. The reason I chose modified tutorial instead of the 2 other options, which were essentially face-to-face full-time or online full-time, is because I'm really hopeful that we can make some of these one-on-one appointments work, and I'm hopeful that in September, or more likely October and November, we can do some writing workshops. And the creative writing workshops, some of those might be even in December. So who knows what the pandemic will look like at that time, but I'm hopeful that with this format, across all 3 classes, we can meet in small groups that I will kind of select based on whether you're in town or not in town, or whether you can be available for in-person meetings. And I'm thinking 4 or 5 students per group will meet, we'll socially distance, we'll wear our masks in our classroom during our class time, and that way we can talk about each other's writing. For those of you that are doing fully online and don't plan to come to Oshkosh, we will make that work using Collaborate Ultra. So just a couple of things that are consistent across all 3 of my classes this semester, which is affording me the ease of just creating one video for all 3 of my classes, at least at this time for opening day. The first of those things that's consistent across all 3 classes is that I'm going to ask that every week, based on a topic I select and post in Canvas, that you send me a question. So I have about 75 students. I'm hoping to get 75 questions a week, and then I will read through those questions, consolidate some of those questions, and create another video in which I answer those questions. So just as a heads up, the first topic will just be the course design, the syllabus, my expectations, that kind of thing, the kinds of questions you would typically ask in the first week. And then the second topic will be the writing process. Anything you want to know about my expectations for your writing process, what I think works best, how we're going to go about drafting and revising our work this semester. But again, these weekly questions, every student of mine will write a weekly question, submit it to me. It'll take you about 30 seconds or a minute to do, and I will give you more information about that and prompt you to do that in Canvas in the coming days. In exchange, I, every Monday, will give you weekly reminders. So I'm always going to look ahead at the week and make a small little checklist of the quizzes you're going to have on readings, the assignments that are due, and other expectations I have for you. And I will post those every Monday in Canvas as well to help keep you on track. Now, related to that, the other thing that I've already designed in Canvas, and you can go check it out if you want, are 2 surveys. The first survey is a one-time survey only, and it's basically my asking you to weigh in about whether when we meet, at least at this point, face-to-face for our one-on-one conference at the end of September, and I will do that with all 75 students, whether you prefer to do that virtually, right? If you prefer to do Collaborate Ultra, that's hard to say for some reason for me. If you prefer to use that or FaceTime or do a phone call or, of some kind, or if you're comfortable meeting with me in person, and of course we would do that with our masks on, and at some safe distance somewhere on campus, maybe Sage Cafe or the library or even the Union, any place that works for you. So please log into Canvas, find that survey, your preference for one-on-one conferences, which will happen for everybody in September, and let me know if you'd like to do that virtually or face-to-face. The other survey is going to be the kind of survey I post every week, and it's just a weekly check-in. So by Friday of every week, including this week, which is not a full week, I'm just going to ask that you log in. There's no points attached to this particular survey, so it's under the quiz function in Canvas for 0 points, but I ask that you just click one of 3 options. Either yes, you're doing really well, you feel like you're on track, you understand what's happening in the course, you kind of understand, and maybe you're thinking of reaching out to me with questions, or the third option is help, contact me ASAP, I'm lost and I need your guidance. And that'll allow me to kind of just touch base with you, because I'm so used to seeing students weekly, 2 or 3 times a week, depending on schedules, and getting a sense based on body language and facial expressions and whether people show up late or seem to have done the reading or whatever. I'm usually able to kind of gauge whether students are doing well or not, but in not seeing you too often, I won't know. So I need you to do that check-in every week. So those are 2 surveys that you'll find in Canvas, and that's for all 3 classes, the WRT course, the 204 course, and the 308-508 course. The last thing I'm just going to tell you about is that when we do our one-on-one conferences at the end of September, okay, and this is for all students, there's going to be an assignment due prior to those conferences, so that when we meet one-on-one, we'll be talking about a submission that you've given to me, okay? okay? And essentially I'm going to act in the capacity of your sort of agent and your editor, okay? So each of the 3 classes will get a different assignment to submit in Canvas before we meet one-on-one. If you're in WRT, okay, 188, you'll be giving me research pitches. So pitches on potential research topics and essays that you might be interested in writing. And you'll get more detail about that in Canvas in the coming days. If you are in 204, what you're going to be giving to me is what I call the micro submissions packet, in which you will be writing micro poems, micro stories, and micro poems. Did I say poems already? Micro essays, micro stories, and micro poems, okay? Of 6 words or less, or 10 words or less, and we'll be talking about those at our conferences. And then if you're in 308, 508, your assignment that will be due for the conferences is going to be a timeline of life events and what I always call the All About Me worksheet, which is essentially you answering a bunch of questions to reflect a little bit on your identity to lay the foundation for writing a memoir. But again, I just can't reiterate enough that I will be trying to the best of my ability and as often as possible without overdoing it, to give you all of this information by Canvas, to post announcements, to post reminders. And as these assignments come due, I will give you enough advance notice by posting them in Canvas with details and examples of my expectations for those assignments. So it's going to be a crazy semester. I think you all know that already. My 7-year-old son, he just turned 7, my 7-year-old son Gus, had 2 days of 2nd grade and was sent home because there was a COVID positive case in his classroom already. So he's virtual now, home with me until September 21st. And he is the youngest of 5 of my kids. So I've got another one in elementary school. Frank is in 5th grade. I've got Fern in 7th grade at Carl Traeger Middle School. And then I've got 2 high school kids. Leo is a freshman and my daughter Irie is a junior. So the likelihood that there's going to be a lot of chaos and unpredictability and tumultuousness this semester is very high. So I'm hopeful, though, that we can stay as healthy as possible and just kind of work on our relationship. Again, as I said in the syllabus, I see myself as your editor, as your agent, as your teacher, as your mentor. And to be honest, I really think the only thing that we will be missing out on is some of the great class discussions that we would have face-to-face. But primarily my classes are reading a lot and reflecting on the reading, writing and revising based on feedback, which I will give you, I hope, extensively. I say I hope because I'm hopeful that none of us are so sick or underwater that we can't complete whatever it is we set out to do. And we'll be doing those small writing workshops and conferences. So I really think we can get most of what we need to become better writers out of this semester. So I think that's it. I hope this video works. I hope it saves and uploads. And I think that's it for now. My dog is scratching at the door. You know how this goes. Life is something special right now, isn't it? So little Trixie's at the door. I'm sure she'll be at the door many more times in videos that I post. Maybe someday I'll invite her along. There's chickens, bunnies, and another dog too. So, okay, thank you everybody, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye.